Recently, we've begun to see a significant rise in the number of people who identify themselves as non-religious. While that's certainly a positive development, we're left with the question, so now what? What do we do to help the movement? Richard Dawkins and others have called on us to voice our opinions, stand up and be counted, and to come out of the closet. Why? Well, because for some reason, atheists live with the stigma of being perceived as angry, hate-filled, violent sinners. And I'm afraid some YouTubers, they don't do much to change that impression. If your goal is just to amass subscribers by posting the most outrageous and offensive anti-religious videos, well then fine. But in my opinion, and it is just my opinion, you're not really helping the cause. The only way to refute an unfair reputation is by proving it's not true. We know atheists are just regular teachers, doctors, housewives. Now let's show it to the rest of society. If you can stand up and confidently proclaim your atheism to your family, your community, then I strongly urge you to do so. The more of us that come out, the more easily we'll be accepted. Remember when, not too long ago, women couldn't vote. African Americans, they had to use separate restrooms. Can't have them Negroes using the same toilet, for God's sake. Oh, come on. The mere thought of a gay character on a TV show or something, that was unheard of. Well, now we're facing that same irrational bias, and now it's our turn to do something about it. I think I found an approach that actually works. I'll wait until a friend, neighbor, maybe a co-worker delivers the inevitable, "I'll pray for you." And we've all had that happen. "I'll pray for you." And then I always answer in a really friendly, non-confrontational manner. "You know, I've read the Bible, but there was something I just didn't understand. Maybe you can answer this for me." Fortunately, it's been my experience that your average Christian has not actually read the Bible. They attend church on Sunday and they're spoon-fed a cherry-picked assortment of scripture emphasizing God, love, morality, and mercy. So can you imagine how unprepared they are when someone like myself says something like, "Well, I'll tell you, I didn't really understand the part where it gives instructions on buying, selling, and, beating your slaves. Did you understand that part?" Well, after referring him to the appropriate passages, all he could say to me was, "Well, I'll have to investigate it." Thought to myself, well, good. That's exactly what we want. Someone thinking about their beliefs. Now, I could have said to this man, "Religion is dumb. The Bible is full of nonsense. You're an idiot." But what would his reaction have been? I think we all know. He would have closed his ears and his mind. The dialogue between the two of us would have ended, and he would have walked away even more secure in his perception of that evil, arrogant atheist. We can have a massive impact on a grassroots level. Each of us can speak up and politely challenge the belief of those around us.
May I speak to a preacher or pastor?
This is Pastor.
Yeah, sir, may I ask you some questions about the Bible I'm having a hard understanding with?
Okay.
I was reading Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7 recently, and it says, "I form the light and the darkness. I create peace and evil. I, the Lord, do all these things." Is the Bible saying that God is the creator of evil and sin?
Yes, in the sense that He creates everything, except that we are the ones who choose evil. So we say He creates everything, but He gives. That's where the free will comes in. That we can choose not to sin. We can choose not to follow evil.
But if God's creating everything, including the environment as well as the issues and the negative stuff, how are we able to go outside of what God already knows?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the question is.
Well, if God... Okay, let me try it this way then, because this is what confuses me. Did God know the stories of the Bible before the Bible was even written? Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here. That's probably one of the difficult issues in a way, in the sense that no, God created everything. He knows everything, but yet He gives us that free will and to choose differently, to choose do the good things.
Yeah, but did God know the Bible before it was written?
In a way, He did, because we said that He knows all things. So he knows the Bible, but He also knows that we have the opportunity to choose differently.
How could have Moses or any of the characters of the Old Testament done something different if God already had their story written from birth to death?
Yeah, that's the one of those double-sided questions. But the idea of free will gives us power to choose to do the right thing.
Yeah, but do you have a chapter and a verse where it says we can go outside the will and knowledge of God?
No, I don't.
You don't?
No, top of my head.
Oh. All right.
All right.
Well, I appreciate your help, sir.
It's the big invisible man, so therefore it's irrational to believe in God. Actually, it's the other way around. It's irrational to disbelieve in God because you can't see Him.
Wow! That makes so much sense! You know, I gotta celebrate. My worldview has changed. I'm gonna have a nice cool drink of water from my invisible cup. I need to change my pants.
Right now, you're breathing. You do know that. You're breathing in air. Now look around you. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you even touch it or feel it?
Can I see air? Can I touch air? Oh, hold on a second. There it is. Touching it.
I recently learned that the fundamentalists believe God placed the dinosaur bones there to test the faith of the Christians and to distract the atheists from the truth. Yes, God doesn't want the atheists to know the truth. God is all about lies and deception. Come on, people. Isn't it obvious? Think about it. You're God. You've got infinity to do absolutely nothing. You're obviously bored. I mean, infinity is a long time to do nothing. Then suddenly, a third of the way through infinity, you decide that you want to create a tiny little insignificant planet off on the outer edge of the spiral arm of a galaxy, just for your amusement. So you have this tiny speck of dust floating around out in the voids of space, and you decide you want to have a little bit more fun. You create life. Okay, that wasn't really as much fun as you thought it would be. I know. You can make them think they are the most important thing in the universe. Make them think that you actually care about these tiny, insignificant specks of microscopic dust that wander around aimlessly on a slightly larger but still microscopic planet floating in the voids of space. Ah, but that was your mistake. Now that they think they are important, they won't leave you alone with their constant questions about why they were created and what they're supposed to do with their life. I suppose you could just tell them the truth, that you were messing with them. But it would be more fun to plant evidence that you never existed in the first place. Some of them are pretty smart. It will take them a while to fall for your deception. But eventually, you will be free of us.